Hello and welcome to the Carbitrage Podcast, episode 234.
Wow,
that was a clip. I'm Eric Berger, joined as always by my co-host Ryan Thanetsky. Hello, sir.
Hey there. We are drinking Fancy Hams.
Fancy Hams.
It's actually called
Hams.
Able Old Trusty, and it is just a really good Hams.
Every time it's so creamy.
It's an amazing beer. It's a perfect beer.
It's Castle Danger Cream Ale mixed with a Hams.
It's a perfect beer.
It is very
just
good.
The greatest beer in the world.
Thank you, Abel, for creating something so mythically amazing.
So I was mentioning over the weekend, why I'm such a fan of Abel to Taylor Finger.
Okay.
And I said to him, I'm like...
We've had him on.
Yeah. I said to him, this guy used to come to my shop and he would pay us in hams. Or not hams, but in Able. Because he was an Able salesman. And so, we'd, save him a little bit of money, nothing that would hurt our profit margins. We'd still be well within a very good margin, but we'd help him out, whereas a normal shop would take it. A normal shop would have, 80% profit margin.
Then you pocket the 20.
Yeah, we cut him, 10%, and... we would still have a very good profit margin for a shop.
Yeah.
And the profit margin turns out, you need it. Shops are going to have 70% margins over what their cost is. It's not really a profit margin, it's a revenue. Yeah. Because a lot of that, for each job you want, probably 40% of that goes to just keeping the lights on. And everything over 40% is, actual profit. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
there's a lot of essential stuff, and then... main dealers. Good Karma's not like this to this extent, but main dealers add another 70% on top of that.
Well, when the rule of thumb, as a service advisor, just because I've been out of the gig for over a year, and I just know as a fact, any shop in the world, your minimum margin that you need to hit to keep the lights on so you don't lose money is a 40% margin.
Sure, that sounds about right.
And it's just 40% markup over what the cost of your parts and labor was.
That's cheap, yeah.
Because when you on your job rating programs, they don't account for power, taxes, stuff like that.
Right,
the shit that the shop needs.
Overhead?
Yeah.
Weird.
Overhead. Yeah. So 40% of every job is just overhead stuff. Yeah. After 40% is profit margin. So, yeah, shops usually don't take advantage of it that much. Places like Honest One will totally just reading your asshole.
Main dealers also will.
And I'm totally okay throwing Honest One under the bus because fuck them. I'll never work for them ever again.
Correct. I've not heard good things about them.
No, they're awful. But yeah, this guy would come in and we'd cut him a break. We'd still be profitable and everything. So Bill's not gonna lose his shirt or anything. But
well, he might literally lose his shirt because his bill. But metaphorically speaking, he probably.
It's a totally different thing.
Bill, where's your shirt? I don't know.
I just thought you wanted me to be sexy today.
But I kind of miss the Bill stories every week.
Yeah, I'd miss it too. Trust me. But anyway, he would come in and whenever we'd help him out, he'd just give us 100 cans of beer. And he literally said, he's I'm gonna bring you 100 cans of beer, and I'm okay. And he shows up at the end of the day with an Audi A3. He'd open the back like I said, he came in a lot. But he opened up the back. He had 100 cans of beer, and everybody at the shop, except for me and one other guy, were sober. And so I was he didn't drink that much beer, so I got 90 cans of beer out of it.
The geometry part of my brain is how does one evenly lay out 100 cans of beer?
Oh, it was stacked. It was completely stacked up. It was just it was 3 cans.
Was it just 5x10s doubled?
It was 3 tall boys stacked on top of each other from tailgate to seat.
Okay.
Yeah. It was wild. But,
really?
What happened?
I bought a new sound card, and you're telling me there's still interference?
No! You need to have a streaming rig at this point.
Oh, I do.
No, it's separate from that.
Oh, I'm not doing that here. Alright, give me a sec.
We're gonna jiggle it. Corey.
Oh, God. Baba booey, baba booey, baba booey, baba booey.
Yeah, we can hear it. Corey, does this help?
Can you hear me now? Looks like I need to turn up the line out on this thing a little bit. Also, I apologize to everyone listening on the actual podcast. I just had to deal with my giant raspberry.
Corey, you're not responding, Corey.
Come on.
Message us.
There must be there's got to be something.
Hello.
Type F in chat. F.
Hello.
F.
Anybody? There. Oh, you're really quiet
Well,
now.
yeah,
Now
I
we're really
bumped
quiet.
it up. I cranked up the thingy-mabop. Like,
Now we're really quiet.
from 50 to 90.
How's the new house, Corey?
Is that main out? That's, I guess I could turn this thing up a little bit more.
Yes.
I don't want to turn it up too much because then it'll clip.
Yeah, you know how I get excited. Excited! I guess I'm still
Acting!
I'm in the yellow.
The
Fuzz
fuzz
is pretty much totally gone.
This is literally the setup I've been using for the last year where people complain about the fuzz. So
Maybe
I
it's a
am
cable thing.
returning
or something.
this.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, what were we saying?
I can't remember.
You're good now. Okay.
Corey, how's the house? I've asked you this like 15 times and you haven't said anything.
What were we talking about topic-wise?
We weren't talking
Oh,
about
okay.
topics. We were just getting into it.
Patreon.com/Carbitrage.
We were talking about this guy that made me like Able beer because I did drink 90 cans of Able beer one summer and it was wonderful.
Patreon.com/Carbitrage. On this particular fancy custom-crafted Patreon page, you will find 2 open-ended levels of support for content consumers like you to support content producers like us. Patreon.com/Carbitrage.
Super weird how quiet it is. LOL. Yeah, you need to fix that.
You need to get
You need
a
a cat.
Dachshund Corgi mix.
Ooh, yes, you do
and
need
some cats.
You need a dachshund and some cats.
I don't believe he's allowed to have pets.
For every dog you have
Oh.
to have 2 cats.
Correct.
Why is he not allowed to have pets?
Oh,
Oh yeah, it's Stillwater. Why did you even move there? It sounds awful.
His dad bought a house. Anyway, long story short,
Anyway,
you have first topic.
yes I do. I figured out how Subaru designs things.
Okay. I mean, that's mind-blowing if so.
So you know how like most people they have like a little like test group.
Sure.
Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a focus group or something
Yeah,
like
they'll
that.
have like a
where
little
you can-
focus group. Like they'll send their designs for their focus group. I think what they do is their focus group is just pulled from the design department. And it's just
Okay.
an echo chamber.
Oh, no.
It's the only way it makes sense. And it's been like this forever.
So it's just like design incest.
It's never, yeah, I think it's just design incest because they've never, ever, ever had.
I should start titling the episodes.
We
Just
actually
call this
should.
one design incest.
Actually, let's call it that. Like moving forward from episode 234, we're gonna title all of our episodes. This will be titled Design Incest. It's gonna be like it's like episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like it's just great names. But
All right, I'll update the Twitch one at least. Design incest.
Perfect. And now we're gonna like double our viewer count. So people are gonna be curious.
People are
about
going to be
it.
searching incest and they'll find us.
But so this is the thing. All right, so I was thinking about this because I thought about this after the Integra came out, and people were talking about how awful the new WRX is, and I'm like, well, the WRX never looked good. Like they've never ever consistently had a good-looking Subaru.
Right. Well,
Like,
I mean, the early, what was the special edition wagon one?
The GC was the
The
original.
Gravel
90s
Express?
Yeah, the GC was fine.
But that wasn't a Rex.
Yeah, it was.
It was?
They did
Okay.
have a WRX back then. But it was like, that wasn't like, that's a fluke. Like, every idiot gets lucky once.
Sure.
Like, but I mean, if you go all the way back, like, the Subaru 360 was kind of weird. Like,
Kinda.
it was cute, but it was weird. Then you had the Subaru FF1, where everything was too far forward. And then you had the Subaru, the EA70 ones, where they had the weird dip at the B-pillar. Just type in EA71 wagon, you'll see what I mean. And then people in chat will
Why don't
see
you
what I mean.
include links, man?
Because this wasn't going to be a link thing. But if you just type in EA71 wagon and then just look at, like, the door panel. Like, go to the Japanese nostalgia car one right there. Look at that weird...
Yeah, that front door.
The dip on the B pillar. It's just every single EA71 had this.
I don't
And
like that.
That's awful. It's awful. It ruins an otherwise fine-looking car.
This is like an error in my summer car.
Yeah, no, it's an otherwise fine-looking car, but that is just awful. That one thing. So that was...
It's probably good for visibility, but screw that.
Yeah, no, it's awful looking. It just looks bad. Like, they designed one part of the car. Like, I think they designed every part individually. Sorry. They just put it all together. Like,
So there's separate design incest
yeah,
community.
so,
Or,
yeah.
not communities, but...
No, you have separate designers, and all
Yeah.
designers get together, and they put all their stuff together, and they go, did you like what you did? And everybody says, I did a great job.
They're
Yeah.
allowed to talk to each other, but it's a 12-inch brick wall.
Yeah, exactly. They can't see what they're working on, but they can communicate. And then it's like, then they got to the EA81, which the EA81 wasn't anything special to look at all. It was it's the most generic early 80s car you could ever think of. And the EA82, where they're you know what, we've had disgusting cars for the last forever. Let's just not design it.
Also, let's talk about a memorable name.
I know.
EA82.
Yeah, it's because they're in Japan. It was the Leon, and here it was the Loyal, and it was originally the GL or the DL. And then they don't have consistent names. So we just go with chassis codes to make better sense of their names.
I mean, I'm guilty of doing this exact same thing with BMW. So
yeah.
That's totally
So
fair.
then the E82, which is the late '80s one, was just the most generic '80s car because they were just they were done with trying to design things, and then sales started to take a dip, and I got
Weird.
Shit, we should design something, and so you know what they called they got the Bertone designed the SVX for them.
But they had the XT before that was an interesting looking vehicle.
It wasn't very good though.
No, it was terrible.
But if you think of what is a wedge-shaped sports car, it's the most generic wedge-shaped sports car. If you just said design a sports car in 1984,
Yeah.
you would get that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So as I said, they didn't design anything.
But that steering wheel, though.
The steering wheel's great. The interiors have always been wonderful in Subarus. At least from aesthetics.
It's a lot better than the Rinspeed or whatever it was, Porsche, and then the early Trans Sport that had the matrix of phone buttons on it or whatever
So
it
bad.
was. Not
But
good.
I mean, Subaru's always made actually a really good-looking interior. The inside of their cars, the user experience of their vehicles are great, but it's just the way they look from the outside. Everybody else has to experience it. But yeah, so they had the SVX, which was looked great, but
It was a fabulous looking
Yeah.
car. I mean, that thing got my attention before I cared about cars.
even then, it's kind of weird looking.
Well, yeah, the double glass thing with the small window was
Yeah,
always
and so
super weird.
that's when I was that was the first time I was you know what, this car totally got a focus group of people that worked at Subaru, and they're hey, does this look good? And they go, yeah, of course, Bertone designed it. Of course it looks good.
It's gonna be mint.
Yeah, let's just do it. They know more than we do. Okay. And they just sent it, and lo and behold, it was just weird as hell.
Strange that it looks so similar to the X19.
Hey, Corey, you can actually see Jana now. Jana, wave. Oh yeah, you can see her. Yeah, you.
He's saying he loves how much brighter it is. I'm like, I
It
don't
is-
like this at all.
But it looks a lot better on screen though. But if you
Well, I can't change the
moving
colors.
on to the 2010s, you had the Outback with that weird 6-spoke wheel,
I
2013,
hated that.
where half the spokes were really wide and half were really
It's like a
narrow.
3 and 3, yeah.
It was
Those are
awful,
ugly.
awful. And then people were saying, "Oh yeah, the WRX is ugly." I'm like, dude, this is totally on brand. Subaru, and they're like, "Yeah, but the Blob I looked great." I'm like, "Yes, you're right. The Blob I looked good. The
that's
GC
right,
looked
the-
good, and the SCS,
Wait.
the SVX looked good. 3 cars in their entire history looked good. Honda's had that many cars that looked objectively terrible.
Blobeye is what I call a Hawkeye. So 04 to 06.
Yeah, so you had
Okay.
the oval one, and then you had
Yeah, Bug Eye, and then
Bug Eye was the oval one, and then you had the in between, which was had the little blob at the bottom.
Yeah, I call
then
that a
the-
Hawkeye, and then the Anteater.
And then, yeah, the Anteater's actually the Hawkeye.
Yeah, fuck all
Yeah.
y'all. It's
Um,
wrong.
However, I think it's great that the Hawkeye, they tried to make the grill look like a propeller to harken back to Nakajima
Is that what it
Aircraft.
was? Oh.
Yeah, I found this out. It was supposed to harken back to Nakajima Aircraft Company. But, you couldn't you really couldn't market it that way in America.
Because nobody knows what that is.
No. Do you know what a Nakajima airplane was used for at the end of World War II?
Bombing?
It's a kamikaze.
Oh, cool.
Because they were all of the Zeros were shot down,
Right,
and all
it's
they had
perfect.
all they had left were Nakajima trainer craft.
When that early 2-liter fails from its 0W20 not being changed, they can kamikaze off the edge of a mountain.
Yeah, it's just a
gonna be
terrible
awesome.
name. And then they had the Dad RX, which is just boring. Which is they either make something that looks
Is that the new
horrific.
WRX?
That was the one after the Hawkeye.
Oh, like the 09?
Yeah, they
Okay.
did that 1 year only where it's a narrow body WRX with a hood scoop, which I had totally normal and present with a hood scoop.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, and they
Forgot
called
about
it they
that.
called it the Dad RX because it was it was just a dad car.
fine.
and then
mean-
and they made a wide body of it. But it's so they went from they go from terrible looking to absolutely boring to terrible looking. And then for 1 year they'll make it look good and then they'll go back to terrible or boring. And this is that's the Subaru design trend.
If the 04, 05 STI or WRX were reliable, that'd be a pretty appealing car. But they're not.
They are not. The STI is.
No, it's not. It's just tolerable.
It's not unreliable.
Yes, it is.
The STI is.
They
at a
still
point-
ship them with like teeny tiny little fuel injectors, and they're riding the NOx sensors all the time. They're not good.
But the reason they all blow up is people just put exhaust and downpipes and turbos on them. They don't tune them.
A completely stock one is not reliable.
Not completely stock or STI specifically.
Yeah,
Because the STI is different than it has a completely different crank.
I know.
That's why.
And later on, a completely different engine too. But
But I mean, like they had a completely different oiling system for the crankshaft. They had completely different pistons. Like it was
that's not what kills them.
But I wasn't done. But
Too bad.
That
I
is
interrupted.
that
like
is
a cow.
part of
Moo.
that was part of their issue was that they have like piston ring separation.
Ringlands?
Yeah, ring lands. Yeah.
Yep. Weird running lean gets them hot, and that happens.
Yeah, but they actually
Put too much nitro in it.
everything was just completely different on the STI. So like, the thing is, if you leave it completely stock and you don't do anything with it, you don't drive it like a dickhead, it's reliable. But everybody drives them like a dickhead. They just bounce off a rev limiter for when they're cold forever.
Right, but there are many engines in competitive vehicles where you can do all of those things.
Now, I never said that they were particularly reliable. Never said they were the peak of reliability. I just said they weren't unreliable. They were totally
I said
normal.
They weren't reliable.
Yeah, they are completely normal.
For a
engines.
Subaru, very good.
Yeah, a reliable Subaru is a normal anybody else engine.
Yes.
A reliable Subaru is
Yeah.
a 300 horsepower Honda LS B series with a giant eBay
Yeah,
turbo.
yeah.
That is completely just normal reliability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the same oil burning too. Yeah.
That's just what it is. Like, so yeah, Subaru. All they do is have an echo chamber focus group of their own designers.
Design incest.
Design incest. That's how they make all their cars. And I was walking out of my house. I was just looking up. My neighbor has one of those like weird 3-spoke Outbacks,
Oh, no.
and I'm
It's
like,
still running?
yeah.
The engines weren't particularly
It's-
good.
I'm sure he's on engine number 12. But I was just looking at that. I'm like, yeah, this is totally like an echo chamber. Like a designer was in a focus group that designed the wheel, and he goes, "I did a great job," and then it was made. Like that's just how it happened.
Nobody bothered to ask if we should instead of if we could.
They did ask. They just asked the designers if they should, and the designers
Should
were
we
like,
make your design?
yes, I did a
Absolutely
great
we should.
job. Yeah, don't ask anybody else. I think I did great. I gave myself an A+.
Did you see the grade? It's right here.
Yeah, I gave myself an A+. I'm freaking awesome.
How many stars on the crash test was this? 10. I wrote it right there.
Yep, it's 10 stars.
10
Yep,
stars.
10 whole stars.
Don't even bother to
It's a
try.
5-star test. It's a 10-star because
Well-
I drew 2 stars inside each of the stars.
Why are the last 5 stars stars of David? Extra fancy, man.
All right,
I shouldn't even
anyway.
make Hanukkah because this one will drop way after it's
Yes, it
done.
will be.
Okay. I want to talk about just like regular incest creating poorly functioning minds that create ideas like this,
Yes.
which is Ferrari making a CUV. I mean, we heard about this a while ago, but I
hope
thought
there's
it was a
porthole
joke.
window in the back.
Well, this one does because it's in mule camo, but
I
the
just
real
want,
one
I want
will
the
not.
real one to have an oval window.
It won't. You know it won't.
Yeah, they're not gonna take any
But
chances. Good
this
for
is just-
Ferrari. They're just gonna.
You already had the GTC4 Lusso. You already had the FF.
Yeah.
Those were beautiful shooting brakes. Fine. Okay, cool. That's a family car.
Now raise it 2 inches.
No. Not only that, get rid of the V12, put a V6 twin turbo in it from the Giulia.
Yeah.
Not a Ferrari anymore.
That's a Ferrari.
No, it isn't.
It says Ferrari on it.
This is like a Levante that somebody just
All
like
right, so-
took a crowbar and just like raked all the badges off of.
Listen here, Eric. I don't like Ferrari. I like Lamborghini.
I don't like either.
I really like Lamborghini
Why?
because they don't pretend to be good.
The anus is terrible.
They've never pretended to be a good car company. All they exist solely to make tractors and steal sales from Ferrari.
Why are you giving them a participation trophy?
I'm not giving Lamborghini a participation trophy.
Sounds like you are, Ryan.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that they never pretended to be good. That was never their design directive, was to be good. They ended up making amazing vehicles. They do make some shit.
Oh, yes,
they've
they do.
they've all. But the thing is, they've consistently had a shit model since the beginning. They've
consistently
never,
had most
they've,
shit models.
They've never not had at least one shit model, like in production.
You know
the
what?
entire existence of Lamborghini.
Congratulations,
Everybody
Lamborghini.
forgets. Like they go, look, they made the Murcielago, and they also made the Gallardo.
The Gallardo.
And then you're also like, but they made the Countach, and I'm like, and they made the Silhouette. And like they made the Solero, and they made the Yalpa. They've always had a shit car. Every time they've made a car since the beginning, they've always had trash.
Lamborghini is the guy boasting at the party for the achievements.
Yes!
Hoping to not run into the person that's aware of their failures.
Yes, that's exactly what they are. And they're amazing. I love it. And you know what? They've never taken their cars to a racetrack. They never did until Volkswagen took them over.
That's true, yeah.
Because they knew that they were
Well,
garbage.
No, Balboni
They
worked there a
never
long time.
Ever took it as Lamborghini. People
Not to a public
bought,
racetrack.
People bought Lamborghinis and took them there.
Valentini Balboni worked there a long time, and
Yes.
they had their own private test circuit.
But they didn't race it.
Correct.
That's
So,
what I mean.
right.
It wasn't. They had a test track.
And
Not
they
a
didn't go to
racetrack.
like the
Two different things.
Nürburgring.
Yeah, they didn't make it good.
It was between bottles of wine
They
in
would
Italy.
happen to make a car that happens to set a new like production speed record. And then beat the own production speed record. But they never pretended to be good.
But I don't. Just
Ferrari.
Again, this seems like a participation
No,
award.
because this is the thing: is Ferrari's always pretended to have their normal cars be good, and they've always made a trash model, and they always try to make you forget that they made a trash model.
Well, they've made a bunch of trash.
But I mean, that's the thing: is they try to make you forget about it.
Yeah.
Lamborghini, people they choose to forget about. Lamborghini doesn't doubt that they made the Yalpa. Like the Yalpa's in Forza.
And the anus.
Yeah, you can get both of those in Forza. But Ferrari like goes out of their way. They're like, you cannot put the 360 Spider into.
You can have our license, but
you can have our license, but that 400i is never, ever, and forever going.
there's
in a
the
video
Forza
game.
agreement
Yeah.
one page, and
yeah,
then
there's page 2.
they're about to sign it, and they see that there's a second page just like glued to it on the back. Like, what does the second page say? I mean, don't worry about that.
This is a list of models you can never put in the game. Like the 348 can never go in here.
They dissolve it and open it up, and yeah, it's got a list of the cars there. I'm like, you wanted us to sign
Yeah,
this.
this is the thing is Ferrari like, yeah, okay, cool. They made more trash. They've always made garbage, and people just choose to be like they have like cognitive dissonance of these like shitty Ferraris existing, and then like you're driving down the road and you go, what is that weird fucking C5 Corvette? And then you look at some weirdo
456 GT.
Yeah, and it's just like some like weirdo like totally forgotten like late 90s Ferrari that nobody wants and costs $30,000. And still
Such a
has
good
normal
powertrain.
Ferrari maintenance. Yeah, it's got great powertrain, but the rest of the car sucks.
Good engine donor.
So-
I think all the 456 GTs have just become engine donors
Actually,
at this point. So.
I have a thing I want to add here because I actually found this out last night, and I texted you about that.
I just
Lamborghini.
this following the money is one thing to pay for enthusiast models, but like Ferrari doesn't make anything good right now. So like this is just at the wrong time to try something like this.
Well, why not?
Well, I mean it's gonna make money because idiots buy cars, but yuck.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't see what the problem is.
Oh, it's so bad and ugly. I mean, obviously it's in camo, but like the proportions. I mean, just look at the distance between the top of the tire and like the bottom of the belt line. There's like 20 inches of space there. That's just not good.
I added in another link for you to click on because, while Ferrari's making trash, Lamborghini has another moneymaker that's actually good.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Because I discovered that Lamborghini Trattori still exists, and they make some banger tractors right now.
Is the Italian word for tractor Trattori?
Yeah, it's Trattori.
Okay.
My favorite, personally, is I really like the Strike CF.
I'll wait for it to show up on the
That's
the band.
That would be in your open field. And I really like the Sprint as well. The Sprint is fantastic.
I like the one that's just got the front roll bar and
yeah.
nothing else.
Yep, that would be the Sprint.
Yep.
So, and that's a 3-cylinder engine as well.
Ah.
So you can get a 3-cylinder Lamborghini.
So it's a Toyota IQ.
It is. There you go.
Oh, you know what?
There's another link specifically for the Sprint. My favorite Lamborghini.
That is basically just an Aston Martin Signet.
Yeah, this is a good Lamborghini. Like if you want like a real like driver's vehicle. Also, if you look at their ads,
Is this
like,
sold with a manual?
If you scroll, I think it is actually. But if you scroll down and look at like design, what does it say?
Pure Lamborghini style.
Scroll down. Engine.
Superlative performance. As it shows an open engine clamshell that is just 80% heat exchanger.
I know.
And a battery. Let's not forget the battery that Clippy hasn't even thrown into the ocean yet.
Transmission. A wide
A wide choice of transmission configuration. Pick the one that suits you.
Hydraulic system.
comprehensively equipped with extraordinary modular configurability.
This sounds like a Lamborghini
The cab,
tractor.
class-beating comfort. Dude, it's just a plastic molded panel with
I know,
8
but the
O'Reilly
words,
switches on it.
The words that they're using, like it's totally the same guy.
The same web design as their main Lamborghini Automobile page.
The
for
same
sure.
guy that like wrote the Lamborghini Automobile, he wrote the tractor.
Oh, absolutely.
He's like
And
glass
again,
beating
these are
comfort.
just direct translations. This is like the crowbar advancement from
Yes.
France.
Oh my God, it's so great. I absolutely love it. So, the Sprint has a 12+12 synchronized transmission with 4 ultra low ratios for a total of 16+16 speeds.
As long as it has a clutch pedal.
Selected manually from a specific control. Yep. While both differentials are lockable electronically. Top speed of 30 kilometers per hour, electronically limited.
So this is just a Mercedes G-Wagon.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty great. And it's got a 15 liter per minute hydraulic pump in it.
Good. Yeah, that's a good amount of literage.
Yes, this is a good tractor.
Some good flow.
I'm
That's not
a
a
big
Nunuk.
fan of this tractor. And then I showed it to Darren. Darren's like, they look terrible. Because he's looking at the open field ones. I'm like, no. You need to look at the Sprint and under vineyards, orchards, and compacts. Because that actually looks good. Because
I'm just coming back to the Clarkson's farm now. You bought too large of a tractor. I just haven't.
I just haven't. It's what I need. They also make front loaders and they make tanks. They make crawlers.
Well, is that Lamborghini Tankatory then?
Lamborghini Trattori.
Yeah, because it's not Trattori.
But the Strike CF I think actually might be even better because if you just
Oh
look
my
at it,
god. Oh, these microphones. Okay, that's like a miniature farm tank.
it's a tiny farm tank.
It's like one of those tracked
amazing.
wheelbarrows or whatever, but somebody put a riding lawnmower on top of it and then
Designed
put
by
a Lamborghini badge on it.
Designed by a Lamborghini with a Lamborghini engine because all these engines are actually bespoke.
Oh my god.
It's like literally a Lamborghini. This is if you want a Lamborghini.
Lamborghini, I know you still make manual transmissions.
This is like literally the most Lamborghini you can get because it's the only Lamborghini that has a full Lamborghini designed engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the Stage 3 Farmotion 3-cylinder engine. It's quite good.
The next season, Clarkson's Farm better have one of these.
I know, right?
Fully sponsored by Lamborghini Trattori.
It's got a mechanical viscostatic fan, common rail diesel injection with pressures up to 2,000 bar, 7-hole advanced injectors. Very good.
Does it have a diagnostic port that's configurable with non-John Deere equipment?
Yes, because it's not John Deere.
Wow.
Yeah.
A plus.
This is
getting.
yeah, it's actually really cool. So it's turbocharged. It forced induction with a wastegate. That's what they said.
Wow. Do most tractors with turbos not have
Don't
wastegates?
know.
They might not.
They might not.
I feel like we
no
might
idea.
we might need to research
We'll have to
that.
find this out. But
Do we
this
know
is,
any farmists?
Tucker might.
Tucker, he's probably not watching.
This is objectively a good tractor. Because all right, so one of the things is I realize that tractors are super easy to ride at work. So I've been like studying tractors more. So
You were an unhealthy individual.
it's entirely an economic thing.
I
It's like-
understand.
but like now I'm like learning to actually appreciate tractors. And I'm like,
Sellers are
these-
probably easier to work with too.
Oh, they're way easier, and like I don't have to like do anything like worry about like.
Ryan, tell me, have any of the tractors you've written have the images for the tractors been submitted without seats in them?
No, they all have had seats. So,
What
yeah.
a novel idea!
I know, right?
That a vehicle that needs to be operated would be sold with a seat in it.
So going on to back to the Strike CF, if you have the high performance engine, the Strike CF 100 3-cylinder, it has a 97 horsepower engine. It's
Okay.
homologated down to 91, but
So what you're telling me is this is a Group B tractor.
it's literally more powerful than it needs to be, and so they, for European sales, they have to drop it down to 91 horsepower. It's so Lamborghini. Like this is peak Lamborghini right here. We're talking about.
Why don't
like,
they just lie like they did in the past? How many horsepower is it? Well, how many is allowed to be? Well, 91 tops.
That's
91.
No, they had to like because they actually test them. Like
Do you have a dyno sheet? And they pull it out. It's MS Paint, like an Etch-a-Sketch. Like here, 91
yeah,
horsepower.
91 horsepower. I feel like they actually like real life like actually like test them like independently.
Probably. I mean,
which is
well, you
like
never know.
hilarious.
I mean, they don't do that in this country
Um,
unless somebody's caught lying.
Well, I don't know, what do you think Lamborghini did? They probably got caught lying because they gave him like a dino graph made of crayon.
We just don't hear about it because we don't have Lamborghini Televisioni.
So the tractor weighs 4,260 kilograms.
That is pretty hefty.
I have no idea how big that is.
That's
in
like
pounds.
10,000 pounds.
Jesus Christ! No wonder it only goes 30 kilometers an
tractors
hour.
need to be heavy for
That's a good point.
for traction.
Yeah. So yeah, that makes sense.
Traction.
Traction.
Oh.
See, now I have a new goal in life. Is I want to get this Lamborghini 100 horsepower tractor engine and put it into a car.
Why?
Because then I can have a Lamborghini.
He wants to give me a heart attack and an aneurysm at the same time. That's why.
That might work.
I wonder if I could put that in MR2. Can I put that in Mondial?
I don't know how tall it is. Maybe. I mean, there's no commercially available adapter for that. So
Maybe.
no. Nope. I say that with complete confidence after doing no research.
Guarantee you, there's no commercially available adapter.
I've never been so confident and done so little research at the same time.
That would be, if I could find a commercially available adapter, that would be my choice for a Mondial challenge. Never mind that it has a quarter of the stack horsepower from Mondial. It's a 3-cylinder turbo diesel Lamborghini engine. It's what I want.
With wastegate.
Yeah, with a wastegate. It's what I want. And it comes with tracks. It's a perfect vehicle.
I don't.
See, Ferrari hurts your feelings, and Lamborghini makes you feel better. That's why Lamborghinis are cooler. than
Ferrari doesn't
Ferraris.
make tractors.
You're right, and it hurts your feelings because now they're making that big dumb truck, and you don't want that.
I don't want.
And you know what?
crossovers.
Do you know what a cool car is? It's a vehicle that brings joy.
I don't like tractors.
But that brought you joy. You were laughing and smiling.
The thing that you were planning to, you were like mentally halfway to the point of like a parts
Of
list
buying
to
one.
putting a 3-cylinder Lamborghini diesel tractor engine in a Mondial QV. That is what brings me joy because I just don't understand what's happening. All that other stuff is tragic. Lamborghini and Ferrari's current product line are both tragic.
Not that tractor. The Strike CF is a good Lamborghini.
How about you put it into like a little pickup truck or something like that?
That'd be great.
I know.
You
I'm
say-
more on board with that.
Yeah, you want that to actually be longitudinal as well.
It would be.
So-
And it's already set up just like a tractor. And it's a farm.
I will get a Mazda B2200 and put that in, and then I'll make.
Zamiad Z24, you mean?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna make a Zamiad Z24 that you can drive in America without having it be crushed, because it's made in America with a Lamborghini tractor engine.
This isn't an Iranian pickup. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, it's just it's a Mazda with a Lamborghini engine.
Why is there a 32-foot steel girder in the back?
Because there's a Lamborghini engine in it. Like,
It's a Zamiad B2200 Mazda. It's a Mazda.
So,
just put rotary engine on the
speaking
tailgate.
of engines that have some level of economic sanctions
Yes.
directed towards them, Russia, the UAZ Patriot, is coming to America, as we know.
I'm happy that they're following through.
Is a 2022, so
That's-
next year.
Well, it's a model year though, right?
Yeah,
So that's fine. That means
That
it will
means
be
it's a-
released in 2022.
yeah, I'm very excited for that. Bremach Taos. And it has a manual for sure. It's
Heck
an extra
yes.
option. Although they didn't say that to me, they didn't message me back, but there was a press release about it. It starts at $26,400.
That's a lot of money.
But that's really good
I mean,
for a brand new truck.
I mean, look.
It's a brand new truck.
This is like a Jimny.
Yeah, it's a brand new truck. It's available in America. But like
If the
standard
financing is good, that could be just fine.
Yeah, and 18-inch alloy wheels, front and rear parking sensors, backup camera, touchchscreen,
Oh, so thing's fully
infotainment.
loaded. Okay.
It comes with Wi-Fi, comes with heated seats, comes with heated.
Can you order a
side
stripper?
mirrors.
Like if you special order it?
This is the standard equipment.
Ah, damn it.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like for $26,000,
I know,
this
the
is
equipment's
your
pretty good.
Heated seats in the back
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
for $26,000. A refrigerated glove box, remote start.
Well,
Oh my
with
God.
a stick, I don't know about that, but
If you put it in, all right. So everybody's
there's
like,
interlock stuff. I know.
yeah, you have a neutral interlock. It's fine. It's absolutely amazing. It's got a 2.7 liter 4-cylinder, 150 horsepower, 6-speed automatic with a optional manual. They don't say how many gears. I hope it's 4. Like it's just as few as possible.
It's just the old UAZ gearbox.
Yeah, give me that. Like I don't make anything special for me.
Hey there, fellas. This here gearbox, that's right. This is a Volga gearbox.
This is what I like, is if you actually go to the Car Scoops, the press and release photo for the front interior, if you just go to the article itself, it's the very first photo.
This is the Car Scoops.
I know, but I was watching the direction you were going. You were going right. You should be going left because it was going further down the...
What am I hearing?
I don't know.
A lock. Somebody's trying to come in.
I don't know what that is, but it's a noise. Look at that.
Somebody is trying to come in.
Do you see what that is?
That's a Chevy steering wheel, isn't it?
No. Take a good look at that photo.
Hold on, let me blow it up.
What am I seeing inside of this?
Is that a manual?
That's a manual. Look at the number of pedals.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Why didn't I start with the pedals?
That's their press release photo. There's a manual in it. This is great. I'm here for it. Like, I'm very, very, very here for this truck.
Are you going to buy a Bremach Taos? Is what I really
absolutely,
need to know.
if I can get reasonable financing, yay! Look at
hello,
Scott.
Scott.
Hello, Scott.
So that's what was going on with the
Oh, yes.
lock.
This is an honor.
Oh, thank you.
Ryan.
Oh, thank you. This is actually, I've had this before. It's delicious.
Supra.
This is a really,
I
really
made
good
him
beer.
get it once because
Thank
I
you.
saw that it said Supra in the liquor store, and I go, "You need that."
And
he was like,
I was also
oh,
wearing
okay.
Supra shoes at the time. Oh my god. Yeah, no, I would totally buy this. Like, if again, based upon financing, like I really,
Would you get the like the little SUV one? I hope. Wouldn't get the pickup.
I'd get the SUV absolutely.
Okay, good.
Actually, to be honest, if the price is right.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they're not the same price.
If the price
look
is
how
right,
cute he is, though.
I kind of want.
This is just a Jimny you can buy.
Well, the thing is, I've been looking for a pickup for like hauling stuff because I've actually,
Stop.
yeah, I know, right? I've had 6 weekends in a row in which I needed a pickup.
And Bandit is out of commission.
Yeah, and her van's out of commission.
Oh, why?
I broke the oil.
Front main went out. It's
Oh,
just hemorrhages
no.
oil now.
Ooh.
Yeah, so actually a Bremach, and so that kind of like, I don't want to ruin the inside of a Bremach, so I kind of be okay with like ruining the bed of a Bremach.
Oh, okay. Look at the back of it. It's pretty cute.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I know, trust me, dude. I made this when I saw the rear end. I'm like, ooh, I don't hate that. Like, it's actually really cool.
Stick axles. Oh,
It's
good,
really good.
stuff.
This is a truck for me. Like, I've never wanted.
And it's
a
got
truck.
the oohs. Oh, you could.
Totally rebadge it. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's not JDM, not DTM, not KDM. It's RDM.
CCCPDM.
That sounds like a drug.
I'm
Dude, are you on Molly? No, man. I'm on CCCPDM.
I'm gonna respec it to USSRDM.
Did Scott lock himself out?
Yeah.
It's not even locked. It just doesn't work from the outside.
I think it is probably locked.
I'm looking at it. And it's not locked. But
Oh, that
I'm
would've
like,
been
I'm totally here for this. Like, this is a great, perfect truck in every way. Like, I can't love this enough.
I just love how teeny the rear axle is. Like, you know that thing doesn't make any power, but it's going to last
No,
forever.
it's gonna last forever. And then, all right, so, let's see here. The Bremach Brio was a B27. So yeah, I'm gonna get the SUV because I'm gonna get the absolute cheapest one I can get.
Oh,
Yeah.
so the pickup is
the
more?
The pickup is $27,882. But God, I totally want this. I don't know if I trust Russians enough to like pre-order it because I'm trusting a Russian person. That doesn't come naturally to me. I can't do that. I've learned to like.
They're getting better.
My entire life, I've learned not to trust Russian people.
That's
and
a good mindset.
Every single time I've dealt with a Russian person, it's been reaffirming that they're wonderful people. You just do not trust them
Yeah.
because there's enough sketchy Russian people. It ruins it for everyone.
That's
They're not all bad, but there's just a likelihood of it.
Yeah,
going
but they
bad.
were all bad.
But God, I just want this truck so bad. It's just a perfect truck. Oh my
It's
God.
a Jimny you can buy.
Yeah.
How big
It's
is it?
they're
Strike
on
me as
par
a
with
little
they're
bit
a
big.
little bit they're about the size of a 4-door Wrangler.
Yeah, so much bigger than a Jimny.
Yeah, they're way bigger than a Jimny. However, it's not a Wrangler,
Right.
which is the good thing.
Well, it's way less money than a Wrangler.
strikes
What's
me as
the
the
base
size
price
of-
on a Wrangler.
I don't know, but this is base price is 26 something.
Yeah.
If I can get into this for $250 a month, I will absolutely however long I have to have financing for, I'll take it.
10-year loan.
Yeah, I'll do it. $250 a month.
It
I'm
is a
not
10-year
on residuals, so I don't imagine the financing is to be great.
No, it's
They don't
not
hold
initially.
their value.
It has a 193,121 kilometer powertrain warranty.
So for me, I'd be a lifer with this truck. I'm okay taking an L on it because I really want it. Like, and that's the thing is I really want this truck a lot. So yeah, if I can make my payment work and it doesn't ruin my life, like yeah, and it's got the great warranty.
You know it's gonna work because every UAZ and Lada ever that hasn't been owned by Garage 54 is still in existence.
And even half of the ones by Garage 54 still exist. For that matter, like there's like still probably a Lada rolling around somewhere in southern Russia with like concrete wheels.
The spring wheels.
Yeah, the spring wheels.
Hey there, fellas.
I'm like totally here for this. I'm like I cannot love this truck enough.
Well, you know what? How about for our 2022 canvas, we replace the Jimny with the Taos?
I think we will. Hey, you know what? That's Asian. It's still an Asian vehicle.
When's your Car of the Year awards?
It's coming up.
And is this eligible?
I think this would be eligible.
It's a manual, so that's eligible.
It's
no,
a-
I
it's
mean,
manual.
Is it for sale yet? Is my question.
Oh, it's not for sale yet, but it is eligible. We should have a
Oh,
design of the year.
2022.
A release of the year.
I don't think that's ever been something that's gotten in our way, is making sure it's actually for sale.
Yeah, we don't really care. I mean,
No.
it's the Modi Awards. They're
Like, we had 2 cars of the year in
whatever
2019.
I want.
so,
Yeah. Well, we have a car of the year, and we always have a Mirage of the year. So, which is
But, I
like,
mean-
just the Mirage.
I mean, these are all still good, but they do need some updating.
Yeah, they do. Because God, this Bremach is just perfect. I even like the way it looks. Like I objectively like the
It
styling.
needs to be CCC PDM'd, though.
Yeah, it totally needs a UAZ logo on the front. But I kind of like the eagle. Like, I like that.
The eagle is
wait a
the
second.
UAZ
This,
logo.
this is the UAZ logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it would be the eagle I'd want. So,
Show the interior. It has to have a backup camera, which is a shame because you'd love to see just.
so
a
you
base,
were
base head
you were attempting to get into the into the building where we're going over it. But yeah, it's
Oh.
got front and
You
rear
locked
heated
yourself
seats.
out on the deck, is
Oh.
what
Yeah,
happened.
it was front and rear heated seats, standard backup camera.
unit. Looks like a GM steering wheel.
It sure does.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
Don't
But-
just
Oh,
ignore. Yeah,
automatic.
no, ignore that part. So there's the rear seat,
Yeah,
the heated rear seat.
yeah, they
Great
have a
legroom.
yeah, tons of legroom. It has Wi-Fi,
I don't want that.
Who cares?
I want stuff that breaks.
7 screen,
I would like the
7-inch
manual crank
infotainment.
window, manual transmission,
Lateral support.
Yeah, that's a good point.
AM,
It's got,
FM.
that'd be very nice.
That's a pretty solid looking vehicle.
It's got a refrigerated glove box.
The one thing I will say, it does have the 2.7 liter UAZ engine, which is not what I would call high tech.
I'm perfect.
Okay.
Because you know what happens when you have high-tech European engines? You get 2 OTs. Everybody
I'm
has a
just
2
saying
OT.
for fuel cost reasons.
I don't. Okay.
It's
I did.
24 mpg high.
Believe it or
Yeah.
not, Eric, I'm not looking at this and saying, fuel economy.
I'm
get a
surprised
Fiat
to
for
hear
that.
that, but
No, that's the thing is, the Fiat would have to serve that purpose, and also most of my fuel cost issues is because I have to drive from St. Paul to Bloomington most of the time.
oh, maybe that'll change something.
Yeah, that will be changing soon. So by the time I have this, and also, I can budget my fuel better because I'm not going to have a drastic drop in fuel efficiency in winter.
Correct. That's true.
It will be the exact same all year long.
Well, that's not true. It will be more similar, though.
Yeah,
An actual
anyway.
MPG.
Yeah.
It has a 2.542 transfer case low range reduction.
Oh,
That's
yes,
actually pretty
that's
good.
Very low.
That's
yes.
like a custom T case for a Wrangler. Why do we keep mentioning
God,
Wranglers?
I want this so bad because the Wrangler is all we have, and this is so much better.
And you can
And
still
it's-
order a Wrangler
and
with
it's
a manual.
not $100,000 like a freaking Land Cruiser.
I know. And I assume this is body on frame, is it not? Maybe
Yes,
it is
it is.
unibody.
No, it's body on frame.
Okay.
Even everything they put.
That's true. Russia doesn't have the technology for unibody trucks. Okay.
Well, actually, they do, but they choose not to. And the reason is
Those bad boys are gonna fog over so
it's
fast.
amazing. Here for it. But no, actually, Russia, a lot of their trucks, they do body on frame because of the quality of their roads. It makes more sense to do body on frame and keep it reliable. That's why they actually went with the super soft suspension in the Lada.
Jeez. Oh my god, I had that mic on.
You need to turn that mic off like now.
I did.
But
Rip headphone users.
But in
ASMR.
Russia, they actually make their cars like quote unquote shittier, more reliable,
More utilitarian, Ryan.
because you're supposed to go like 45 miles an hour over like potholes that are 6 inches deep and will never be
Oh,
fixed.
so it's a modern 2CV.
Yeah, it's basically what they're made for. Yeah, that's why Ladas have like super soft suspension. So I'm all the way here for this. I'm so excited. I cannot be more excited.
This is definitely the best thing we've covered in the last 2 weeks.
I really want. I'm like, I'm gonna be legitimately bummed out if I cannot possibly get financing for $250 a month for this truck and base model.
That's gonna be tough with 28 $8,000 after tax or something like that.
Yeah, I know. I assume I'm be putting a down payment on it. So.
Oh, then you might be able to.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the thing. I always do a down payment, but my monthly payment I try to have maxed out there because that's like where it's gonna be a reasonable monthly payment. Anything more than that, then I start like digging into like luxury costs for like not ramen and stuff.
Well, quality of life is something you gotta balance.
And that's what I do. That's how I balance my cars. That's why I own my weird cars because I refuse to pay more than $250 a month for cars because it starts eating it into the rest of my quality of life.
That's probably smart. I really hate how much the Tesla costs and how not close to paid off it is.
Yeah.
Although, fun fact, the center screen has been failing again. And for the last several days, it has not been accruing odometer mileage.
Oh no.
True miles unknown.
Yep. I looked, I left yesterday before I came down here, and it was 104,330. And I looked when I got out of the car, and it was 104,330. And I looked this morning, and it was 104,330. It did put 12 miles on today when I came down here, which is 34 miles.
Chose to work.
For a bit of it, yeah. For part of the drive at work.
Every Tesla's going to get TME. I'm actually going to bring that up at work. Because that's actually a very good point.
I cannot believe that somehow the car can drive and the gauge cluster works.
And the odometer doesn't work.
Like,
yeah, that's
why
wild.
is that not in the powertrain module?
That's very interesting. And we're going to start having Teslas on the site. I think on Teslas, you're going to go with mileage shown. It's a really good point. Like, just for all of them. Because, like, on digital odometers, usually we just say it says miles because they're all directly connected to the actual car itself. There's no way you can like roll back an odometer really,
right?
Unless you replace the entire unit. Whereas a Tesla now apparently that doesn't work, and we have to treat it like a mechanical
I'm just surprised
odometer.
that it doesn't have like multiple handshakes across all the modules.
Yeah, because like on mechanical odometer cars we say miles shown because you're having you can't say absolutely for sure that nobody at any point in time ever rolled anything back. Like there's a very very good likelihood. But you can't say, like, without a doubt, like, it's not like the sun's going to rise.
I guarantee my car has done at least 60 miles more than the odometer displays at this point.
So that would be a true miles unknown.
Most people would have gone and gotten it fixed because they care about things like heat and working turn signals.
Oh my God. That's so annoying.
Most of the time they work right now, but not always.
God, that's awful.
After I'm done with Christmas shopping, I'm going to have that replaced because it's really annoying.
You might just want to sell it.
No. Although Scott really wants me to sell it and buy an ELR.
Yes.
But I would have
You
to
should buy an ELR.
But I would have to fix the damn MCU before I sell it, so no, that's not happening.
Well, you're going to fix the MCU regardless, aren't you?
Well, at some point,
Yeah. And
I'm,
once you
I'm
fix it...
going to have to because I really like using my turn signals.
This is the thing, is this is going to continue happening to you.
The thing is, if I don't reboot it, like after I've charged it in the morning, if I don't reboot it, the signals always work. Everything else, GPS, who knows?
And you're paying how much?
For what?
How much a month for everything combined?
Insurance and car payment, it's like $950.
A month
Yeah.
to not have heat.
Not reliably. Sometimes it goes into failsafe and I really get heat.
You need an ELR. You need a Cadillac, my friend.
I should have bought that $13,000 silver one, but I didn't.
You really need a Cadillac because this is terrible. Actually, I feel like the Cadillac will blend in too much.
The
with,
ELR
like, the
is so cool. I saw a silver one a couple days ago. I
saw
sent him
one
a
too.
picture.
I saw it in California.
Isn't it so exciting when you see an ELR?
Jana was sleeping. I couldn't yell.
Get a foreign color and wrap it. It's hard to get the red ones.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Turning that microphone back on so I
And
can hear
then you
you.
can
Baba
actually...
booey, baba
Oh,
booey.
jeez, yeah, I can hear you.
Turn
Thank
it
you.
off.
That's enough of you.
Enough of that. All right, well, let's talk about your Bugatti.
Okay, this
I've also known about this car, and I love that
it
you
looks
just
like a
discovered it.
Lancia.
I know it
this
does.
This is like the downy sibling of the EB110 that they made 3 of for some reason, and there's one for sale now, which is kind of cool. But it does have the correct number of doors, and it is technically a Bugatti, and it was made in the 90s, which is the best decade. So, what are your thoughts, THOTS, on this?
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
This Bugatti grille, you don't need to put it on everything. It doesn't need to be on every car. It just doesn't. It's
Well,
such a
BMW
bad
says
grille.
you need a corporate grille,
You don't need a corporate
a
grille
bad
for-
one.
Bugatti's a terrible corporate grille. It never looks good on anything. Oh my god. I've only seen like very grainy photos of this, and seeing the 218 in real life, I just hate it. Oh man. You know what this is? This is a Porsche Panamera from the 90s. That's exactly what this is.
You look at the back end is classic 1G Panamera.
The interior is amazing, though. I love this interior.
Well, and it's a 6-speed manual V12
Yeah.
rear-wheel drive
with
sedan.
machine turn trim, which I love.
Engine turn trim is sexy.
Yes. Oh, I like this a lot. I'm not mad about it. I love that it's got a 10,000
RPM
tack that like with a red line of like
6.
7, and it says you're in oh shit mode after 6. It's got a 320 kilometer per hour speedometer, which is like 180, I think.
This is not an attractive car, but it is very cool.
Ooh, I like that the
Superstar.
that the valve cover bolts are
Oops.
blue. That's cool.
They're probably titanium. I know it doesn't have the EB110 engine. It is a variant of it, but yeah.
You know what this looks like?
What? A Panamera?
It looks like a Porsche Panamera, and if you like left it in a room with like sexy music on, next to like a Mazda 929.
Oh my god, it does look like a 929.
It's a 929 Panamera. Like if they made a shooting brake 929 and put a V12 in it. Like if Mazda had money, this is what they would have made.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look like a really, really nice, like if Mazda had Genesis in the 90s.
If Mazda in the 90s had Volkswagen money today, like today's Volkswagen's money, like, and Mazda had that in the 90s, they would totally make this. And like they would have been like designing it like since like 1982 to look like this, and they would have finally come to like fruition like in 1995, and they'd have so much sunk costs that they couldn't cancel it after the bubble economy burst, and then they're just
we
like
have to do
stuck.
it.
They're just stuck with this like stupid car that nobody can afford or want or buy, and they'll sell like 30 of them, and then they'd all be on Brand Trailer selling like mind-blowing like record-shattering prices of like $30,000 a car. Like that's what they would do.
I
Like,
just like that this
they'd be a 4-door Supra for Mazda.
this must suck because it has all of the good
You know what?
check boxes.
This must be. I bet this car is actually objectively amazing.
I don't know who owned the Bugatti name at this time.
Bugatti was owned by a French businessman, actually, at this point in time.
So it was actually owned by a Frenchist.
Yes,
Peugeot owned them in that era, didn't they?
No, it was a French businessman.
Peugeot had them at some point.
So yeah, after this French businessman bought them out, like, and then there's a recession, like, in the like early 90s, and like in 1991, 1991 there's a recession, and it was like right after this guy bought it, and he kind of went like, uh-oh.
Maybe I shouldn't be owning a car company right now.
Yeah, and I should be buying like I shouldn't be making this like destination like manufacturing plant for cars that nobody can afford for all of the 90s.
Let
And
me look into
it was
1991
all just
NFTs.
it was terrible timing for him. But the cars were like from everything I've heard. I've never been in one personally, but from everything I've heard, they were all objectively great.
I mean, it looks very interesting. If that thing showed up at a car show next to a 959, I would look at this.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
any day over 959 now.
well, because this says 4 doors.
Yeah. Well, and also it's a Porsche. Porsches are inherently boring.
Well, it does kind of look like a Porsche from the
Yeah,
back.
yeah, but that's the thing is that Porsches are inherently boring. Like they're great cars, but they're
Is this styling more polarizing, or is the first gen Lagonda more polarizing?
oh, this is more polarizing.
Do you
So-
think this is more polarizing
Yes.
than a first gen Lagonda? No way.
No, so this is my reasoning. Is at the time, the first generation Lagonda was objectively great looking. I think in the 90s, this is 290s even for the 90s. I think that this car would look horrible if it wasn't for the fact that the Panamera existed. And then in your mind has something to say, oh, this is what it's supposed to look like. Because in the 1990s, the only thing that you could think of that this looking like would be like a Volvo wagon. That's what a station wagon
This looks like a 99 Taurus SHO hatchback.
Yeah.
8 years before that came out.
Exactly. Like it didn't look good then. I think now that we have the Panamera, you see what a quote unquote good looking, shooting brake could look like.
Well, yeah, the 3rd generation Panamera looks alright.
But I mean, like all the generations of Panamera, there's been enough people have bought them and say, this is actually kind of cool looking. Like, people want Panameras.
Not first gens.
I don't know, but anyway, I'm not.
That's why they're like 15 grand.
And people buy them. They exist. They sold. They exist.
Yeah, you
That's
can't
the thing.
buy taste.
Oh, yeah.
That's the same people that are going to buy a Ferrari SUV.
But this is the thing is the Lagonda actually took, because that came out in the late 70s, And you have to think of what looked better, the Lagonda or a 1976 Oldsmobile 88.
The 88 had way better proportions.
I think the 88 looked terrible.
It did.
It was
Everything
awful.
in the 70s looked pretty
Everything
bad.
in
Except
the
for
70s
Blubsky.
Everything
and
in
the
the
2002.
70s, no, everything looked bad because there were versions of those that looked terrible.
That's true. Yeah, the
Everything
late
in the
60s
70s was
version of
bad.
everything is way
Yeah,
better.
yeah. The 70s, everything was bad in the 70s. The 70s was nothing was better in the 70s than it was in a different decade.
So the Lagonda should have come out in 1968.
Yeah, yeah, and so I think that the Lagonda would have been terrible looking in 1968. But this is my thing: is the Lagonda in the 70s when you're in the depths of the malaise, when everything was going towards the direction of the Oldsmobile 88.
You're just defending it because it has CRTs in it.
No, I'm thinking that the Lagonda was a precursor to what future designs were going to look like. Because the Lagonda came out way before the 80s. It's the most 80s car you've ever seen in your life.
That's true. It came out in like 76, and it
I would
looks like
say-
an 83.
Yeah, and I think that the Lagonda and the Countach are
But
two
it's-
cars that...
The Countach is beautiful. The
The
Lagonda
Countach
is
is,
disgusting.
is beautiful. I personally like the Lagonda, but I think as far as design directives, that the Lagonda would be less divisive than this would be, because the Lagonda went on to be what all cars looked like. Whereas nothing looked like
Styling
this ever.
cues, yes, but nothing has ever adopted the heinous proportions
But
of that car.
and then we're going back to what looks better, this or that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that the Lagonda is by any means like,
I don't mind its styling. I hate its proportion.
but I think this one is more divisive.
They're
because-
very of their era, both of these cars.
Well, no, this is in the era. The Lagonda.
No, this is before its era.
This was when was this?
That's so late 90s. This was like penned, I think, in 1991. But I mean, this car is later.
Yeah. All right. So you're looking like a
95.
You're looking. Okay. So this came out in the era when this style.
This looks like
Existed.
a concept car from 1989 or 1990.
Exactly, but it came out in 1995 though.
Right.
Whereas the Lagonda looks like a concept car from 1975, and it came out in 1975.
It's still really bad.
They both look bad. Trust me. I'm not saying the Lagonda is like the end all be all of great looking cars. I'm just saying, but like the Lagonda and the Countach directed what all automotive design was going to look like for 15 years after that.
If we can
Whereas
get an
this
LCD replacement for the
this
Lagonda.
directed absolutely nothing for any design directive to anyone because nobody liked how it looked because it looks goofy. The only thing that this looks like is it looks like a PT Cruiser.
It looks like every 90s product.
Yeah, but it's in the middle of it though. If this had come out in 1985, yes.
No, there's cars
Groundbreaking.
that came out
But
in
this
like
didn't
the
come out.
late 90s that
Yeah.
look like this too.
But I'm saying that's the late 90s from 1995 is not 15 years. It didn't like massively change the world.
But
whereas
it's got-
a Lagonda did. A Lagonda, trust me, looks bad. But there were designs from the Lagonda where people said, yes, this works, this works, this works.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went and ran with it. This one, nobody ran with any of it. They ran, well, I guess they did run away from it though.
I mean, they sold 3 of them, so somebody must have liked it.
Three
right?
people stayed. Three whole people.
I'll have that.
Yes, that's a large percentage of sales for Bugatti of that era.
I guess it was. They didn't sell them any EB110s, but it was a lot more than 3.
But so speaking of other divisive cars from Europe,
We're good at those.
yes, there's actually a new Lancia that's coming out.
Oh? Does it look like this?
it's a
Because
special
that's what
edition.
all like early 2000s launches look like.
No, actually, this is not like
This kind of looks like
this. I think is the best looking Lancia in 20 years.
It looks like it's based on a Mito, but like with a
It does.
Mirage.
This is the
Like
best.
all the hard points. Also, the bumper doesn't match the fender,
I
and
know.
it's new.
Hey, listen, it's Italian. I know. In the
This has 2003 Corolla XR body
It's-
cladding
it's a
paint match
Lancia.
issues.
You know what? I'd buy it. I'd buy this.
It does look a lot better than their
It's
like
called-
2010 to 2014 like
It's called
schnoz
the
can opener.
the Lancia Ypsilon Albetti Ferrari.
Oh my god, the Ypsilon.
Yes. So
Albetti Ferrari.
yes, and it comes with 4 color options. You can have Snow White, Petra Gray, Volcano Black, Bicolor Black. And
So it's not available in any colors because
No.
these are all neutrals.
No. It's not. Listen, it's Lancia. It exists. Be happy it exists.
I mean, it's
This
got
game-
the same exhaust tip as the 2012 Fiat 500 Prima.
This car exists entirely So whoever owns Lancia right now can continue to have that trademark.
The Ypsilon.
Yes.
By Italian law, you have to make a new body style every 7 years with the moniker, otherwise you lose
I think
it.
they were just gonna lose the like usage of like the term Lancia and like the
actual manufacturer.
The actual manufacturer trademark was gonna expire. Like, oh shit, throw this out.
What do we have? What do we have?
I'm not gonna lie, it looks. I don't hate it.
It looks fine, but there's nothing special about it.
I think it looks great.
I was wondering
All
what
right,
was flashing. There's an ad.
here's the brass tacks
Mm.
of what you want to know.
TAX or TACKS?
It's TACKS.
Okay.
This is the performance of the vehicle.
Mm.
What you're gonna get with it.
Mm.
You
Lay it
know,
on me.
The meat of the bones.
This better have a twin air in it, otherwise.
It has a 1 whole liter engine.
It might be a twin air.
Yeah, it might very well be. It makes a really nice amount of power.
69?
Yeah, 69 horsepower.
Woo! DIN or SAE?
It doesn't say. It says 70 PS. So that'd be SAE. 70 PS to 69. SAE is about, it's less than a horsepower difference.
Yep. That checks out.
And then it has 68 pound-feet of torque.
Oh, you're going to have to tune that.
Yeah, you need to get that 1 extra pound-foot. So it has a 0 to 62 of a blistering 14.2 seconds. And
Must be
Is it available with a manual?
I can't possibly be. There's no way a manual could be
It's
that
not
slow.
a U.S. market sales car.
Maybe
could
it
be.
is. Maybe it is. It's a 5-speed. Sure. Let's say it's a 5-speed.
It's exactly the same as the old Ypsilon. Pull up like a 2007 Ypsilon.
Now-
It's exactly the same.
Now, there's a
From
top
the
speed.
back.
There's a top speed of it. The car actually goes faster than a
Is
Honda
this
Fit.
even a new design?
It might not be.
It looks exactly like the one I used to see
Listen,
all over the
It's
place.
a special edition. It has a top speed of 101
Oh, the front is
horsepowers. The front end looks a hell of a lot better than that trash.
The rear looks almost the same.
This front end's way better. Yeah. Yeah, it's a different car.
Yeah, the front is different.
Yeah,
I want to know if this
they
has a
changed
twin
it.
air, though, the new one. I need to know what engine this has.
There's also a 1.2 liter that makes less power, makes 68 horsepower, but more torque. Makes 75 pound-feet of torque.
These all sound like Fiat powertrains.
And it can run on gas or LPG, which is kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. Does it have built-in LP support? Because that's
yeah,
a liquid tank, isn't it?
I have no idea. I guess that LPG means liquefied propane gas, so...
Well, yeah, but I think you have to actually like
I
put
don't-
in like
I
a
have
high
no-
pressure.
I don't know.
Okay, fine. What is
I
this?
know
A
nothing about-
2022 model?
Yes.
I need to know if this is a twin
No.
air.
That actually is a little bit slower, 0 to 62, and it goes more, I guess, 15.3 seconds. And it costs, oh my god, that's expensive. That's $20,000 for that turd?
$20,000 US dollar. I mean, they're not going to sell it
Yes.
here. So what is? No, it's a 3-cylinder
15,000
Firefly.
pounds.
That includes VAT.
Or 18,000 euros. That's a lot of
You
money
take
for that
20%
trash.
off after you convert it because that includes VAT. Our prices never include delivery
it's-
or tax, and they include
Okay.
both.
So, and at
So they're
20%?
not convertible.
So 20% you said about...
20% plus $1,500 for delivery that they have to include by law.
So I guess that'd be close to Mirage. Yeah, that'd be... Alright, so actually, this is a great deal.
Went from don't buy this to actually that's a great deal.
Yeah, no, that's actually a solid deal.
So it
'Cause
is
I was-
not a twin air.
I-
It is a 3-cylinder
Okay.
Fiat engine design family engine.
So, yeah, and actually now I'm considering that this would be equivalent to a fully loaded Mirage. Like, in every way. So this might be... It's a toss-up. It really is.
No, it isn't. I'm just glad they got rid of the Euro Acura chrome.
I'm
opener.
going to tell you right now, this is probably my favorite set of wheels made in Italy in probably the last 10 years.
They look like they belong on a Fiat 500
Look at the
lounge.
There's a second to the left. So go left twice. Yeah, that one. So you can get a good view of the wheel. Oh shit! That was the one that one right there.
I was just on that.
I
one.
know. But I like the wheel. The wheels look great.
The wheels are nice.
I would like those
that.
on my Fiat.
I'm sure the powertrain.
They
is
come with
good.
Goodyear tires, which can't be good.
I need to know if this is available to manual, otherwise it doesn't matter.
I don't know. No idea. But I mean, it's cute. Jana, what do you think?
It's okay.
bland.
It really, yeah,
too
it's
bland.
very bland.
I don't think that the front looks too much like a PT Cruiser.
I feel like if it had a color, it'd be nice. The
Yeah,
color
they're
would
all
help.
neutrals.
I think if you could get that in like yellow, it'd feel better.
It's just they start with black paint, and then you can just add a certain amount of white to it until it becomes white paint
Yeah, that's true.
at the factory, and that's all. They have 2 paint guns, and they just mix.
That probably is how they make it so cheap in Italian.
Italian.
Now,
Oh man. Okay. All right. I got one more thing. Stick with me.
more
This won't take
depressing
long.
European car.
Yeah, I need to
news.
stop doing depressing stuff, but like it's got light at the end of the tunnel. So I want to talk about the Maserati Ghibli. You know, the Chrysler 300 based sedan that I didn't even know they were still making.
I'm surprised that they're getting rid of that because the only Maserati I ever see is a Ghibli.
No. All the people that were buying Ghiblis are now buying Levantes.
Yeah, but I mean those aren't cars.
Correct.
So the only Maseratis I see that are cars are Ghiblis.
Gran Turismo.
Are you sure? Because also the new Quattroporte looks almost exactly the same.
Yes, because one makes an annoying noise and the other one doesn't, and I always hear the annoying noise.
Sounds good. The V6 noise.
Yes, the annoying noise.
Do you see them with like a waste bin with a liner in it under the sunroof on a rainy day as they drive down the road, as the water is pouring in through the poorly fit panels?
No, but that's hilarious.
Awesome.
That sounds about right.
So the Ghibli is finally being mercy killed this next
awful.
calendar year. So
I hate that.
2022, it will stop production finally. Good. I don't even know who owns Maserati right now, but like that car, they just did it wrong.
Car's
That's
bad.
the wrong kind of parts bin.
No, it's like the what was the really bad, the Cambio Corsa?
Oh, I think it's. I don't know if it's Cambi Corsa or Cambio Corsa. I think it is Cambio Corsa.
The Cambi Corsa, whatever the hell. It's
Sorry.
basically a modern that.
Race gearbox.
Yeah, it's the same thing as that.
That's what that translates to in Italian.
It's not.
I don't know if that's worse or Porsche Doppelkopplung Trattori is worse.
The Porsche one
Yeah.
is objectively better than the manual, so I hate that more.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a very effective transmission.
No, that's it's
The Cambio Corsa is just a
it's
manual
better,
that
but
somebody
not more good.
bolted a bunch. No, actually, they JB welded a bunch of Magnetti Morelli hydroelectric gubbins to, and then they were surprised.
I don't
Oh,
no faith in that.
also, it's on a transaxle under the back of the car, so when things go wrong with it, it is an enormous bill to put right.
Yeah.
I still kind of want to try manual swapping a first gen, well, not first gen, but like, an 04 QP.
I feel like 04 QP and manual swap would be fun. This will never be fun.
No, this is a tragic
Because
vehicle.
the best that you can hope for is you're going to look like a mid-level manager with, like, that vapes.
I will say one thing about this car. Like, there's the certain thing about like the first gen Panamera S,
Yes.
the 986 Boxster. Like, there are certain cars, even right now in 2021, where you can buy them dirt cheap and people think you have a lot of money. And if that's your goal, a Ghibli is not a bad choice because you can pick one of these up for low teens still. Like a first year Ghibli. And yeah, you're going to be holding your wastebasket on a rainy day.
But you're also going to look like a dickhead while you're at it.
Yeah, but these people don't care. Because they want that Maserati badge. So, that's the only real upside. But, like, keep in mind, this is a 1995 Mercedes-designed chassis that was brought in to Chrysler, then updated by Chrysler, and then ported out to Maserati.
None of this sounds reliable.
No.
Like, hey, let's take this thing. When was Mercedes at their worst? 1995. Okay. Who is, like, the least reliable American company that you don't want to trust for a long period of time? Chrysler. Okay, cool. Who are you going to have to do a mid-model update? Chrysler. When they're at their worst. When they're even worse than they were when they got the design from BMW or from Mercedes. Cool. All right, now we're going to give it to the Italians to make yet worse.
The worst Italian car
Yes.
company that makes exotics.
yeah,
and I
the-
say air quotes.
The worst of the Italian car companies, Maserati.
It-
None of this sounds reliable. I don't think there's a single one of these on the road with over 50,000 miles.
They should have just put the Pentastar in this and called it good.
It is.
No,
It's a tarted up Pentastar.
the supercharged engine's the Pentastar?
The turbo,
It's a supercharged 3
whatever
liter.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Pentastar with Maserati heads. They actually use the spark plugs, or even Pentastar spark plugs.
That engine gets around because it was co-developed by Mercedes
Yeah,
and
I know
Chrysler,
that's
and then
that's the Pentastar. Yeah.
Okay, because
And they just put different heads on it.
the M272 V6, what's in my
So-
parents' GLSs.
And you can get manual pentastars.
I once
Ooh.
worked at a repair shop, which I don't want to say the name of because I don't want to speak ill of the shop, but the guy that owned this car is an absolute dickhead, and we don't like him. And we found out that it needed a bunch of repairs, and we were going through it and matching part numbers up, and a ton of part numbers from this engine match up part numbers with a Pentastar.
I guess that makes sense.
And so what we did is we bought the Pentastar parts really cheap, and then we gave it the Maserati price.
Good. Yeah.
And then so we got it said we had like a 20% margin, which is what you do for dealer parts. But really we had like a 60% margin, which is like our normal thing. And then we told him we gave him a deal.
Yep.
So
I
that guy was an absolute dickhead. I hate him.
cannot remember what the last car I did that on, but I there was something where you had to pay the premium for the fancy part box, and then just doing a little bit of research and just throwing caution to the wind is like
Tesla.
that's the same.
Porsche.
No.
I think it was on the 996 maybe. I forget.
That sounds very
There was a lot of
Porsche-ish.
stuff on that. There's
So
a
just
lot of stuff on the
off-the-shelf
Ferrari.
Bosch.
But yeah, it's just a fancy schmancy town and country.
No, that's a
The
Chrysler
Ghibli should have been a
300.
great car though. It's Italian. It's lots above Fiat. It has a high budget.
Had they
It should
made
have
it,
been a great car.
No, these are all things
And
that
then the Alfa Romeo Giulia is an amazing car.
these are all
It's in the
things.
same family.
These are all things where people say it should be a great car.
but the Giulia's an actual Italian car.
These are
Right.
the thing
But this is
is
supposed to be a mark above it.
these
It's
are
supposed to be the
just
premium-
aspects of a
I
good
think
car.
I think the LX Origins ruined this car.
I think the fact that this is the fact that it just has things that you find also on a good car does not make this supposed to be a good car. There's no point in this is supposed to be a good car because the Quattroporte exists. It has always existed. This is
And
the
as a
volume
V8.
seller. This is the volume seller. This is the car, like the Quattroporte. This is the car that you get when you can't afford the Quattroporte.
It's
None
the
of that's
yuppie
supposed to be
car,
good.
but they're all buying Teslas now. So
Yeah,
it
exactly.
serves no purpose.
Yeah. So, how about this? Let's talk about a good car manufacturer. I added one last thing in because I don't want to end on a sad thing.
Go for it.
I want to talk about Autovaz.
I
Lada.
just want to talk about the Bremach Taos again.
Nope, I don't. This because that's actually owned by UAZ, which is a different company.
It's all Italian.
No,
I mean, not Italian. It's all Russian.
They actually are all Italian, really, when you get down to it. But
Something's going on with car scoops in their photos today. But
so Lada's entire model range, they've been increasing the prices, like consistently.
well, yeah, global supply.
But their sales have been going up.
Oh, well, yeah,
'Cause
you
they
can
make
sell
great vehicles.
Well, also you could probably sell a Ghibli right now at retail.
Probably. But so the entry level Lada that you
Zing.
can get right now is called the Lada Granta, and it's $7,966.
Is the Niva dead?
No, the Niva is $9,152. It's a little bit more expensive than the Granta. But yeah, they're 5% higher than they used to be.
Get the Niva.
But yeah,
Oh, they
the
got the. Whoa, tell me about the Vesta. I like those scallops.
Yes, the Vesta. It's also there. That's quite good. the Vesta's like their equivalent to like a Honda City.
They were putting in like the Daytona Charger scoop, and then some guy had the paper copy of the drafting, and he put them on, but he didn't realize that he had the left side and the right side.
If you go to the next photo to the right, you get a good car. That's the Granta. Wait, is that the Granta?
No, it's a
still the
Vesta Sport.
Eventually, you'll get to the Granta. The Granta's there. Oh no, the Granta's 5 to the left. I'm sorry.
I started with the Granta.
Yeah, the Granta's actually. I kind of like the Granta.
I was just making fun of the scallops and how the guy definitely got it wrong and just had to keep going.
Yes, that's quite bad.
I'm like, yeah, no, I meant to put those on the front end of the bike.
These I'm pretty sure Lada's designs that aren't made in Italy, like they literally make in automation
these
or
look
automation.
like Malaysian cars.
Malaysian cars look better, dude. Don't do Malaysian cars dirty like that. Ooh, actually, this is cool. The Vesta Cross. It's a crossover sedan.
Oh, so it's like the old legacy.
Outback
Or
sedan.
Polestar 2.
Yeah, it's an Outback sedan or a Polestar 2. Yeah, this is kind of cool, actually, the Vesta Cross. There's
Are
a
these
reason
all
that
two-wheel
these are
drive?
selling.
Do Russians
No,
buy
the-
four-wheel drive?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Yeah.
I'm just saying, do they mostly have 2 or 4-wheel drive?
Probably mostly 2 because they're cheaper.
Yeah, but it's cold. You need 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, but you
There's
can't
snow,
afford
you need
it
four-wheel
if you're eating nothing but like if you're eating
They're-
nothing but beets.
Russia is way better about snow tires than we are.
They make a delivery vehicle called a Largus. It's got pop-out rear windows. That's cool.
Look at the belt line on this Niva. That is
man, that's a
so
new Niva.
That's the
2000.
Niva now?
That's the new Niva.
Oh.
Don't
No,
worry,
so-
they still make the Niva Classic.
This
It's
is
called
the Niva Travel.
They make the Lada Niva 4x4 still, so don't worry. They still make that.
Johnny Smith just reviewed one of those recently. Oh man.
I'm a little,
there
I'm
we
a little
go.
bit ahead of you. Ooh, they make the Lada Niva 4x4 Cross, which is a 4-door Niva. Or 5-door Niva.
The OG Lada.
No, they're mostly 3-door, because it's usually a hatchback.
Still
but
got Steelies on it.
It's quite good. Rear drum brakes, very good.
Oh, tell me about the Bronto. That looks like a Niva with a facelift.
It's quite good. That's what it is. It's the Bronto. They have a high
We've got a furred Bronto.
They've got a high performance version called the Rondo.
That's what plants crave.
That's what plants crave. That's what it is.
There's the Niva.
Yeah, there you go. That's here, Scott.
Four-door.
This is a 5-door.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's
what I'm thinking
that's
about.
the good one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Computer graphics and Niva are just such far apart things for me.
I really love it. I love that they just CGI where the car is, and they put a real, just like, oh my god, it's just great.
The
I love
car
this.
that's most likely to go to this place is the most CG'd into this place.
I know, right?
You could import a lot of Niva easily.
Oh yeah.
Very easily.
Oh,
It
yeah.
It would be
There's
a
actually-
better use of your money than a brand new
Whoa,
Taos.
whoa, let's not
Well,
go
no,
too
about
crazy
that,
here.
this is also going to be like a daily driver.
Heated seats
what
and
these
a
are for.
steering wheel.
Heated
and-
rear seats. Scott, you could.
Who cares about the rear seats?
You do, because when
No.
I'm driving all of your asses to Anchor, you're gonna be in a heated seat.
Can we gap an Evo?
Fair enough.
I don't know, maybe if there's enough snow and
If he's doing 70, I can easily overtake doing 80.
if he's got all seasons, I guarantee
Oh,
my
yeah.
snow tires will outdo him.
Correct.
I'm just a fan of it.
I keep watching all these like recommended videos, and like Tire Buyer is a really, really good series about that. They test every modern tire every year. I'm like, great test. I really appreciate it. But what I want to see is test a 3-year-old winter tire and a 3-year-old all season.
Did you
I
see
don't
it-
want to know about the brand new tires.
Did you see the guy that was trying to sell the completely bald winter tires for $50?
Dude.
I said, "Where's the tread?"
Just
and
the
a
tires?
picture of George Costanza going,
Where's the tread? Like one of the comments, like these aren't even safe to roll a car on.
You couldn't even show
funny.
that.
Actually, speaking of tires, the Federal 959, like the drift tire, because it's the cheapest performance tire you can get, they like doubled in price.
Dude, everything's expensive.
No, now they're like Michelin expensive.
Michelin.
Because,
Well, then get Michelin's.
yeah, I know that's the thing. But now they're literally like because of not embargoes, but
Tariffs.
tariffs. Yeah, because of tariffs. Yeah, they're very expensive now. So now you just don't want to get the Federal. You can still get Ling Long, because those are made in Malaysia, and nobody's mad at Malaysia. So, there you go. Top tip, buy Ling Long.
I really like the Bronto. I think that's
Bronto's
just
quite
enough facelift on a Niva to. They need to do that in a 5-door.
I think for 2022, we're gonna have a lot of Russian cars.
because they're still making manual stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna have a UAZ Patriot and a Bronto.
Talk about that UK importer company that's selling the oldest, most basic
UAZ.
off-roader and an EV version of the same thing.
I wonder, can you crank start the EV?
They
Because
could
you-
probably let you, sure.
I wonder if the charging port.
You
for
put
the
enough
EV
Hall effect switches in it, you know.
That's what I'm thinking. Or like maybe like they have like a little like just an AC like adapter like where the charger port is. So just like plug a computer like plug into it.
I don't know what a Russian wall outlet looks like, but I would really hope that it's just those prongs sticking out, and you've got to use this most just janky ghetto Russian extension cord to plug your
It's
car
like held
in.
together with like tape.
Yes.
Like electrical tape, like
Correct.
a sock.
It's spliced together 6 or 7 times with wire
Yeah,
nuts
that's
on
exactly
the way to
what
the
it is,
house.
yeah.
Mhm.
Or like it sparks every time it hits the ground. It's like dry outside, but still sparks. But anyway, so that's your top tip is
Buy a-
Russian cars.
Buy a Bronto.
Yeah, there you go.
Bye,
See you in
everybody.
2 weeks.
Bye.